In this video, we're just going to illustrate a quick final expense underwriting exercise. I'm going to click on the quotes button over here in the side menu. It's going to open up our product quotes area. You may not have all these. In this case, since they are populating, I need to click on the final expense quote button and or tab, and then I'm going to click on the underwriting button down here, and it's going to open up my underwriting tab. You'll notice all of the information that showed up in the final expense quote area is going to carry over. So state, age, gender, tobacco. I'm going to use a female in this case because this is actually a lady that we spoke with. I think this is a good one to use as an example. So we've got, other than the 4 fields that carry over, we have the companies that we have loaded up in this demo account, some final expense companies, the categories, all the different health categories, and then the conditions that go along with them. This is a very long list, and the time frames that are typical from carrier to carrier that we use to underwrite. You'll notice we also have a medication tab. This is where we would also choose the actual medications to see if we have any knockout medications or some that might lead them to a different plan. And then we have our height weight tab. This is very simple. Just choose the height. The results are going to be the minimums and the maximums. You can sort these if you want, either way. This is going to be largest number to smallest, and then sort it again, or either one of these. Anyway, let's go back to the underwriting tab. In this case, what we find out during our interview, as we ask the health questions, we find out that this particular lady has diabetes. Well, she actually is hypoglycemic, and she was diagnosed years ago, but in the last 2 years, her blood sugars have been under control, and in her case, she was low blood sugar, low blood pressure as well. But just to be safe, we're going to say she was diagnosed. She says that her doctor's even going to remove it from her medical records. Once we've made our selection, though, we need to add it to our list. So you can see it's added it down here. And then we find out she has systemic lupus. That's an autoimmune disease. Let's just say you don't know the category. So we'll come over here and we'll just type in lupus, or maybe we type in systemic. As we type the first few letters, it'll auto find it. We make that selection, we add it. Oops, got to add a time frame. There we go. And we add it, and then there you'll see there's the autoimmune systemic lupus. She's currently being treated. Now, we don't find really much more out about her during the health questions, so we're going to submit this. And we can see, we've got a level option right here. We've got another level option here. So it looks like we're doing pretty good as far as options go. So now what we're going to do, though, we're going to go over and we're going to gather her prescription medications. And you'll notice that the way I do this and the way that I would teach is to go ahead and start adding, furosemide. She says she takes furosemide. And as I add that in, you're going to see it's added here. I'm going to double click, or I'm going to just drag across this or back it up. Either way, I'm going to replace this with the next prescription medication. So I'm going to start typing the next drug, which was sertraline. I want to select that one. Now when I go up here and hover over my list, you can see both of those are in the list. And then I'm going to add, she takes Plaquenil. We're going to clean this up. They won't be in here twice when we get our list good and clean, but for this illustration it works. And now you can see we've got the Plaquenil, the hydroxychloroquine, which is Plaquenil, just generic. And then the sertraline and the furosemide are all on the list. And then I'm going to double click again. I'm going to come back. She takes gabapentin. Now the Plaquenil is for the systemic lupus. Turns out it's also for Sjogren's syndrome, dry mouth, dry eyes. So maybe before we add the gabapentin, we'll go back over here and we'll say, oh, well, she's got Sjogren's. Okay, so if you don't know how to spell it, just Google it. But I do know how to spell it because I Googled it. I'm going to add that. Again, got to add the time frame. Add that to our selection. I'm going to hit submit. And wow, you'll notice one of them dropped off. So Sjogren's Liberty dropped off once I added the Sjogren's. Interesting. Okay, and then we're going to go back in here. You can see I still got, when I hover over this, I still have my 4 in here. I didn't add the gabapentin yet, so let's go ahead and select gabapentin. And she says she takes the gabapentin for the lupus as well. She doesn't have neuropathy, she has lupus. And then the next drug is going to be emlodipine. And now the emlodipine, she said she has that for Raynaud's syndrome. That's where you've got the hands get cold and they turn color. They're usually like a blue, I mean really blue. That's another thing that we would probably want to come over here and look in our condition and see if that's one that comes up. There it is, Raynaud's. So I'm going to go ahead and add that too. You can tell I'm really good at my time frame. And then I'm going to add that so that's added in our list. Make sure you add it and then make sure you submit it. And there you go. It didn't make any changes there, so that's good. So we'll go back here. So we've got our amlodipine, furosemide, gabapentin, Plaquenil, and sertraline, and then the generic for Plaquenil. So I'm going to click on this, and my next prescription is going to be trazodone. She takes trazodone. She says she takes that for restless leg syndrome, RLS. Wow. So we're finding out more and more about this individual by getting these medications, and she forgets to give us these medications when we're doing the interview. So we add that in. So let's see, there's a restless. Now we submit it, and it did not make any changes. So that's good as well. And then the next prescription that she takes is Synthroid. She takes Synthroid for a hyperthyroid. We're going to add that. That shouldn't be a big deal. If you're not sure, you can come over here and type thyroid. You'll see thyroid's not even in our list, so you don't have to worry about that one. And then going back to the medications, so now when I hover over, I've got them all selected. There's one more prescription she gave us, and that was simvastatin, and that's going to be for her cholesterol, triglycerides. And so now I've got 9. I've got them all listed in here, so now I can filter. And once I filter these, it can be a little overwhelming because we've got all the Americo companies here. You can see, American Home Life. And then we've got the Americo companies starting down below. And as you glance at these, you can see, oh, we got graded here, but that's if she's congestive heart failure. She didn't have that. We've got graded here if chest pain. She didn't have that. So medications look good as far as American Home Life goes. But let's cheat. We already know the best option right now is Americo. So we may as well go back to the medication and let's filter these companies and let's just look at Americo and make sure we're good to go. And it looks like we are. We got level benefits all the way down. So this is just a good underwriting example for you. I hope this helped. Take care.